Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. I've just logged back into the server after a live stream the other day and I seem to be in a strange and peculiar location. Some of you will recognise this build style right here. I gotta say it's pretty superb. Ooh, and I like the way there's some random cyan blocks in the roof there. That breaks it up pretty well, even though there's a fair contrast between the two colours. Anyway, we are over in Full Symmetry's area, and this place is absolutely gorgeous. I love what she's done with the area. And we're in this sort of, I don't know, browner area to the south. Oh, that's loud. Hey, that's from my fireplace tutorial video. It's making a ridiculous amount of sound. It's hissing at me, isn't it, Mr. Cow? That's why you're standing over there. You don't want to hear this noise. That's quite a funny thing to stumble on. And yeah, let's just wander around here a little bit. It looks like Force has got some plans to build a building over here. You can see some boats out in this area, in the bay, in the dock. And over in the middle of the base, you've got a giant dome, and then it all kind of splits out into much lusher, greener areas. This place, absolutely superb. There's another one! Goodness me, they're making so much sound. And then if we'll be a nosy neighbour and we'll go and look in this dome. This project down here looking absolutely insane. Some sort of massive underground structure going on. Anyway, I'm getting directed. That's the wrong word, brain. Distracted. It's very similar. That's what my brain was doing. It found a similar word, but not the correct one. Let's fly back over to our base. Of course, False is our neighbour, and this is us just over here. I've been working on the black hole project again, and I've been adding basically an extra swamp around the side. So if you remember, there was like this dirt overhang. Well, now as you can see, it is all trees. Bam, let's land down here. Hi, how you doing? And what I went and did is put a layer of dirt underneath it coming across, because we're going to flood this thing with water, right? Because we're extending the swamp biome around this edge here. I've also gone and raised up the black concrete powder underneath, so we're going to work on the overhang at the front here. We're going to get it looking like that, and then we will flood the area behind it with water. Now this area needs to be lit up because mobs can spawn in it, so we're going to eventually punch out all of these torches, but as you can see, there are jack-o'-lanterns in the area. Now they will have water going in front of them, but there's carpet on top that the light can come through. So I'm hoping that light will be enough to light up this area, stop mob spawning, and then we can have another swamp just like we've got over here. The difference is it'll be a luminous swamp. These swamps are actually quite dark, and they kind of get lit when I go near them because I've got dynamic lighting. So now you can see that it is relatively dark. And I just remembered something else that we need to do. We're going to go do it straight away. So on this island, there are basically nether portals. One over that side of the volcano, this side and that side. And we don't have one on this one over here. So I'm actually going to go and put it inside of this structure that Wells Knight built for us. So these portals in the middle take you to the volcano, the inside of it, and then around the outside here, these go to the outside parts of the island, like I was just describing a moment ago. Now behind me, this one has witch heads on it, which I think is kind of fitting because it goes to a witch hut now. However, the reason those are there is because we have this tunnel behind it, which leads to the witch farm. Now, when I set all of this up, I'd never actually built a portal to link to this one over here. So if we jump through it, what you're going to see is that there is a portal underground. And here it is. Let's take a step back. So I didn't make this. Someone else obviously navigated through my base and then it generated one underground. Do you see the problem here though, peeps? Do you see the problem? I'll give you a second. This is 4 blocks tall. The game doesn't naturally generate a portal that is 4 blocks tall. I find that ever so strange, and I'm going to come back here and dismantle this portal because you can actually get through to the witch hut. So let's find where the witch one is. It's right there, and let's not stand on that right hand side. So when you stand on the right hand side, you go to one underground. When you stand on the middle or this side over here, it takes you to the correct place. So now you can see we are inside of this witch hut, which Wells Knight built. And I have gone and decorated it a little bit. I've put down some cobwebs, some details here and there, some carpets on the ground. And to break up the ground as well, I actually put in these slabs that just come out a little bit. feel like they actually make a really big difference, which is cool. And then on the outside over here, I've connected it to this path because I always used to jump up and down. And yes, it is deliberately awkward and decrepit, but that's kind of the point, right? Because this is a very rundown and old abandoned witch hut. So all of that has worked out really well, but now we just got to go deal with that portal. So I'm going to go and take that thing down. Making my way out of that cave, water flooded down into it, and we are clearly under an ocean. So the portal was just down there, not too far away from where the other one is. This is the edge of the swamp biome, and the witch hut is probably just in the center of that area. That was a fun time-lapse, and I hope you enjoyed the music. It was a song from the new Lord Leviticus record, and I was just thinking about how I discovered his music right around the time I started playing Minecraft, actually. So the two things have been very intrinsic for several years now, and as the moon sets and the sun will soon begin to rise, we can see that this area is quite nicely illuminated, and because we've got the path going through over here, kind of feels like all of this area of the swamp is illuminated. And it's looking pretty fantastic, but we're going to have to go in here and punch out some of those torches, and like I described before, I'm hoping that the pumpkins are going to do enough work with the light level to stop mobs and spawning in here and stuff like that. But right now what we've got to do is commence the Great Flood, as we are to remove all of these blocks over the outside here and let the water flood through. That could have been very bad, but I don't think it will be. You see, the real problem will be the water finding its way down to the front here and converting the powder into concrete, but I believe I've sort of covered all of the front edges here with some of our blocks, and I really enjoy doing organic building. This whole biomes project has encouraged me to build in different styles and to do some more organic terrain focused building, and that has been a lot of fun. This right here, let's just put that there, bam. And yeah, we've got to just remove this all the way up to that point, and that means that the water is now coming straight in to where the swamp is. Obviously there's a little bit more work to do here, as we need to create some more water sources, make sure that the water gets into all the places like just under that tree. And then as we get closer and closer to this side over here, what we should find is that we're going to end up using the bucket a lot just to put it into lots of little places like over here, and definitely don't want to place it in that space because then it will flow down to the bottom area. Aha, little bits like this where they're kind of isolated. I think that might be it. I think that might be all the blocks now. One thing that I wanted to do is put some grass in here as well. Oh, and then I got to go and bone meal it as well. So let's pick up some of those. We can walk around as we check out how it looks. It looks kind of good. I wasn't thinking about it too much though as I was removing these blocks, but it's pretty much the same dealio we got going on the other side. So yeah, let's chuck down occasional one of these, and in some areas it gets really kind of clustered. We want to bone meal this, don't we? And I probably want to bring some flowers around with me as well. But yeah, you'll see just it gets a little bit blocked up here and there, and that's fine. That's to be expected, I guess. The jack-o'-lanterns look cool in this area. And now we're kind of ending up with the grass around the outside, which is going to look odd if you notice it. Let's grab our coarse dirt. I've been using that because the dirt won't, sorry, the grass won't spread to it. Alright, so ferns and flowers seem to be the other things that we could bring into this space. There are a few bits of grass, like the long grass over here. And like I was saying, just look at the ground, it just feels so much more cluttered than I've done before. But the effect is there, this feels like the swamp. It's actually turning out really great is what I'm saying. Man, I was looking for these supplies earlier. I've got loads of podzol over here, of course. It was in my live stream that I was scratching my head and thinking, I'm sure I've got loads and loads of podzol. And I've gone and left it over here. Wow, this stuff really needs cleaning up, doesn't it? I mean, some of this can just go. I can let it despawn. Don't need all of those flowers, but the podzol and stuff, very valuable. Alright, that's great. We now got a mix of podzol in here, and it's pretty much as balanced as the side over there. Now let's go and stand on the bridge again. Man, that is looking superb. I'm so pleased with how this has turned out. However, I got no idea what's going to happen in this space over here now, as I don't have a plan for what's going to be in this area. But we need to find a way for them to converge and yeah, it all to come together. Now, one of the biggest things I've had in terms of feedback about this project is people saying that like blocks should be getting sucked into the black hole. It is not that sort of black hole. It is supposed to be more like a sinkhole, just this ominous pit that you look down into it and you can't see the bottom, right? That's kind of the idea, and it's not a black hole where things that get close to it will get sucked into it. I could have done it that way, but I don't know. Just feels like you're trying to make the world look a little bit animated, whereas in this place I think I'd rather have it looking a little bit static, you know? I just remembered we had a bit of a problem. We had water sort of flowing down into the area down below. There is lots of torches down there as well as concrete and stuff like that. You can see a little bit of concrete powder. I've got a feeling that might be placed incorrectly, but if we just pop down into here, yeah, we seem to be good. The water probably wiped out a lot of torches. Kind of looks like it didn't at all, actually. Surely it would have wiped out some of the torches. Well, everything seems to be just fine down here. Yeah, seems fine. But maybe not. I don't really want grass in this area at all. So we're going to have to remove this. In fact, I'm going to remove a few blocks around here in case it starts spreading down. Passive animals would be able to spawn, and that would break our farm that we have in the middle of the area. In fact, now that we're putting grass over here in a biome which isn't the mushroom biome, it means that technically they could spawn on there, right? But because it's such a small area, the chances are very slim. So I don't think we really have to worry about it, but we definitely need to stop it from spreading down here. Alright then, I've tidied up the working area that I had over there, and now I've been brainstorming some ideas on what to do with this path and how the next part of the island is going to look. But I don't think we'll jump in that in today, because I actually have another project that I'm prepared to start work on. But before we get to that, I want to go and gather up some of those materials that we found a moment ago and just bring them back to the base with us. Okay, I think we're pretty much packed up and ready to go. I have moved all the materials I want to keep into these shulker boxes so we can take them back with us. And then over here we're going to let these chests all despawn. I don't really think there's anything of value in them. That might cause a little bit of frame rate lag. But we need to tidy up. It's a thing that we got to do. And speaking of tidying up, how many times have you seen the iron farm back up over here during this season? Quite a few times. Well, eventually I made some more modifications down here, and it stuck at one point. I think it was that repeater there. I think that's what I went and added, and that creates a little bit of delay which stops it from getting locked out and breaking. And ever since then I've never had a backup of iron golems. Pretty cool. Anyway, let's go drop off these shulker boxes and check out the next project we're going to work on. Man, I am really starting to accumulate a lot of junk in here. Crazy. Gonna have to run everything through the storage system again, but for now, let's grab a couple extra shulker boxes for this next project. So, do you see anything different? Well, it's actually quite obvious. We're not seeing light. What we're seeing over there is a little bit of light coming into this space. What you're seeing there is a sliver of light off in the distance that we're seeing through this gap, as all of that area is dark. There is now a staircase here that leads down to the creeper farm project, and of course the black hole is done directly above that. So this is actually going to be the entrance, and I know this isn't really a walking area, but I think it's kind of cool that we just have this like little pathway leading down from a spot like that. So we'll probably make the entrance quite dark, and was going to say secluded. Would secluded be the right word? Maybe concealed is the correct word. Also, I'm a little bit concerned about the amount of arrows that end up over here. They're all supposed to go over into that space so they despawn and don't become entities in the world, but don't think there's much I can do about that now. The next project is this area right here. It is to tidy it up and make it look interesting. This is the place where creepers get killed quite regularly because the efficiency of our farm is fantastic. And then over here we distribute the gunpowder upwards, and then over there we actually destroy the records that we get from this thing and dispense them into lava. There you go, there goes one through. We might see another one come through pretty quickly as well. Yeah, I think we're going to get a little bit technical over here, as we're probably going to create some sort of system to potentially store them as well as destroy them. But right now, I've got to put on the thinking cap and figure out how we're going to go about with this project. Hello, Mr. Kitty Cat, what are you doing up here? I know that we have some cats in the area. I didn't realise that they were so close to this space that I'm working on. Are y'all going to drop down? Right now what I'm doing is I'm digging out a space at the front here, because I think what I might want to do is make the areas where the creepers drop down kind of visible. There we go, and I actually want to have the cats in this room, so that's good. Now you can see where we dug this space out that we're a little bit lower down, and it just didn't look right to me. We had all these hoppers and droppers going across the front of the main thing that we're looking at. So now I think what we're going to do is have it so that the staircase comes down to this height. This will be our floor, and now we can look in, we can see the skeleton. And bear in mind, this is going to have some droppers going across the front of it. We can see where the creepers land, and we can see the iron golem over here. So all of those things are intact, and that's why we're going to build the room at this height right here. So then I was just investigating the possibility of looking up into that space and seeing the creepers fall down, which means we're probably going to end up replacing a lot of the blocks around here with glass, and also we're going to tidy up the wall back there, which will end up being a little bit tricky. But before we get to that, I think we need to figure out what colours are the walls going to be in this room. I've seen what's been happening here. The arrow can sometimes hit the creeper, not kill it, and bounce off. And I've seen it land there on occasions. Unfortunately, these ones right here are probably too close to that block, because we need to keep the creepers contained. Aha. If we come down here and just remove that piece of glass, and then put one of those down the bottom here. I'm going to do this wrong, aren't I? Oh no, it's going to stay there. And I believe if the arrow lands on that block, that means that it despawns, right? But anyway, I'm getting distracted. We may or may not keep that there. I've worked out a build palette. We are going to use sandstone down here, which was a really nice choice. I don't feel like I've done enough with sandstone this season, but also we get the chiseled creeper face down here, and it's got a bit of a tomb vibe as well. So coming from that entrance down here, it's going to feel like a tomb, I think. And so we're going to mix that with some woods. These 4 blocks right here are going to be a crucial part. And then the other thing that I've got are these colours. So in the walls, what we will have is sections of these 3 colours sort of scattered about to represent the skin of the creeper. So we're going to be mixing yellow, brown and green, and these 2 obviously go together very well, and then this will be like the splash of colour. So I feel like that's a really good block palette for us to build with. So I was watching some very old Hermitcraft videos of mine the other day. I was flicking back through them, and I saw a floor design that I made in one of those videos that I really liked, and I've sort of translated it here to some different materials. We've got our 2 woods, we've got our trapdoors, and then the glowstone below for lighting. So this room is going to be nice and luminous, which is cool. And now I'm just sort of figuring out the walls, where we're going to put in our different coloured green blocks, and some other things in here I've been measuring out. And I just feel like we're ready to kind of move on a little bit here and build it up again. But this bit right here, I believe, has got to go because it doesn't look right. We're going to have the pillar go up like that. I'm going to fill in the blocks behind it. And then we've got to figure out a height for this room. I think it makes sense to go about 2 blocks higher. But then it asks of us, what are we going to put in this space going across here? Because as you can see, the glass kind of ends, and we need to tidy up the area behind the glass as well. In other words, there's just a lot of questions running through my mind at the moment, but we're definitely going to get there. I feel very inspired for this build at the moment. So I'm not 100% keen on this idea over here. This was my main idea for this room, and where I found another build palette that I was interested in, I feel like I'm not so sure it fits in that well. I mean, it's not horrible, but hey, I'm just fussy when I do this stuff, and I'm just starting on the ceiling, but I've run out of dark oak, so we'll come back to that in a bit. And somewhere around here is where it's all going to open up and I'm hoping we can make it so that you can see the creepers like coming down all the way down here. It's going to be tricky to do. Also over here I've been putting in the slabs behind. That's looking real good. We're going to continue doing that going over here, which is going to be very tricky. And another thing that I've realised is that I could remove that glass block there and the creeper wouldn't be able to escape here. So we're going to have another setup with the fence post and the sand dropping onto it, and then that way we shouldn't have a cluster of arrows here. Success! The creepers can't escape, and we are getting no more arrows on these blocks, and of course none over here because of the water, and that is really, really great because those arrows, well, you know what, there's probably never enough of them for it to be a big deal, but it is some sort of impact on the game, I guess. And at the moment, I think what I want to focus on doing next is this section up here where we start to show where the creepers drop down. And also I'm starting to struggle with how do we make this part of the room look, because I have an idea for a project on the side where we're going to have 11 jukeboxes, and above them we're going to have the 11 records in item frames, and that was going to take up one of these walls. But then we start to move into the space where we can't rearrange this stuff because it's been neatly positioned to avoid bedrock and things like that. So we're going to have this in the middle of the room, and I just don't know how it all comes together at this point here. So we're going to focus on the things that we can make work. But I think I need to get my head out of this project for now. I've been down here in the basement for too long, so we're gonna take a break and do something else. It's raining, and the rain is disgusting on YouTube videos, but that's okay because we're heading underground. So I wanted to get out of the base for a while, get some fresh air, and go straight back underground again. There's actually something that I want to show you, and this is the entrance right here. Awesome. So it would have been quite a few episodes, maybe even months ago, that we last came to this place, and when we were down here there are levers, and I saw a red... We're going to hit it. Wow, that's really impressive. Oh man, there is some serious voodoo magic going on around here. I don't even know the kind of crazy redstone you need to do that. That's superb. So it's like a dead end, then you hit the switch, and it all comes into place. Anyway, what was I talking about? We were last here a couple of months ago, and we found Cub's llama coaster, and I believe that that was not actually finished because I saw him doing some other work and creating a whole llama park with some really interesting rooms full of llamas, because the Hermitcraft server now has llamas on it, of course. So I believe the llama coaster was somewhere around here. You can see bits of it. I've actually landed in the coaster. And the entrance for this place was down below, and I don't know if that leads to this other room. What's that you say? Look behind me. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. That wasn't here last time we were here. Ooh, this looks like the place. Let's go on in. Oh, there's signs to read as well. Welcome to Llama Facts, the amazing factual llama wall. Llama fact number 1, llamas can be used as defense against wolves. Llama fact number 2, llamas can store up to 25,920 items per llama. That's got to be using shulker boxes, right? And llama fact number 3, llamas can form caravans up to 10 llamas strong. I knew the last one. I kind of knew the first one because they can spit. So I guess they spit at wolves out in the wild. But that one there, that's fascinating. And will you be purchasing llamas today? No. Yes, I can't wait to buy a llama. I didn't plan on purchasing a llama. I'm going to say yes. Oh, there's sound effects. And then there's llamas. Lots and lots of llamas. And look at the ceiling here. Oh man, Cubfan has done an incredible job with this place. The ceiling is of many llama faces. Oh, and when we look in that way, the frames change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6 different types of llamas, right? What was it for? I think it's 6. Anyway, we're going to check out these rooms one by one. This is Hermitron from last season, built by Rendog. Oh, that texture cracks me up. I like it, I like it. What we got going on over here? Ah, Hermitron Go, but with llamas. Over here we've got a circuit board, but with llamas. Yeah, this is just a bunch of redstone going on, right? I mean, I guess if I press these buttons, nothing will probably happen, or maybe I'll break something, so I'll leave it alone. Now this right here, bunch of party balloons. and loads of cool textures from the terra. I've got to see what's behind those doors, peeps. I'm breaking in. There's nothing here. And over here we've got a cold, icy-like mountain. So let's see what it says. Mount Everest, but with llamas. Candyland, but with llamas. Okay, that joke's gonna get old quick. Let's check out all of these places. Oh man, that's superb. Cub is really great at decorating interiors. Look at the amount of detail that's just been loaded into this space. Please wait for Teller. Fair enough. And what's in this back room? A storage area. Jumbo Mumbo, Cleo Zombie. Hey, I might be in here somewhere. Void Asuma. There's nothing in here. Is there anything in any of these chests? Why is my name on this wall? These llamas look quite suspicious as well. That's because it's a bank robbery with llamas. The Bahamas, but with llamas, aka Bahama Llamas. I love this area, man. It's so hilarious. Oh, they look like they're having a whale of a time over here. Football, but with llamas. Yeah, I sussed this one out, actually. This kind of looked like a football pitch. I guess that's the football then. I actually think I remember watching that in Cub's video where he did that. And then we've got the nets, which I won't jump into because I'll be there for a little bit too long. A dramatic play, but with llamas, aka llama drama. I love the puns. This is very cool. Look at this little stage. I have to walk into each of these and check out if there's anything like hidden away. A very important science laboratory, but with llamas. This definitely looks like a brewery of places, doesn't it? How has he managed to do that? That's an awesome banner. It's like a brewing stand. Literally. I mean, literally as close as you can get to a brewing stand. That's super cool. And once again, I've got to be nosy. Is there no way to open? There's nothing back there anyway, but knowing Cub, there'll be like a sneaky way to open these doors. Maybe not. Maybe not, right? Then we have llamas, but with more llamas. With more of them. It's like the llama inception room. The walls are llamas, and then there's this. Oh, is the floor a llama as well? The floor's a llama, that's why there's a gap there. Wonderful. The moon, but with llamas. This, yeah, definitely got a spacey vibe. You've got a helmet on there. That's amazing. And there's something over the back again. Oh, it's Earth. Oh, that's brilliant. There's just Earth off in the distance. Oh, that's so clever. That's so... Apparently there's dragons on the moon, peeps. Watch out. If you ever go to the moon, watch out for the dragons. The highway to hell, but with llamas. I thought this one was going to say the nether. Because I can see the nether back here. There's a nether portal. There's a little bit of that side creeping through to here. And that's everything there is to see in this area. I've got to say, I love Llama Land. I'm so glad that I remembered to come over to this place because... Oh, it just looks so amazing in the videos, but it's even better when you're here in person, you know. That is not a new thing. That is a Christmas thing. It's not Christmas. The Christmas decorations need to come down. That's got to be said. Anyway, that is going to be it from me this episode of Hermitcraft. I do hope that you have enjoyed it, and if you have, leave a like on the episode. As always, thank you so much for the support on these videos, and I'll see you very soon with another episode of Hermitcraft. But ciao for now. Bye-bye.